Hey everybody, Desmond here, founder of entrepreneurshipcoachonline.com and author of 7 Emotions That Prevent Your Success. Well, welcome to another video, and a bright evening day, sun shines over in this room. I love it so much. And this video, it's for people that really comes back to me in my coaching sessions in over the years that I've actually accommodated and really stock up some of the data and information due to my coaching sessions. And this video actually serves for people that have one big issues that could not achieve their goals in timely manner, or they simply didn't achieve their goal at all. And this is the biggest issue of all entrepreneurs, all coaches, all consultants, all business owners as well. That is taking massive actions. So in this video, I crafted a concept and a strategy that I've actually learned in both corporate as well as in real life experience that I've interviewed and coaches many people over the years. And let's hop on to over behind of me. That's actually a paper that I put up a title called Taking Massive Actions, or you just simply execute. You know, if you listen to many gurus and teachers and coaches and consultants, they say just take actions and execute. But many fail to understand the behind reasons. How am I going to do that? What can I do? And what consists of just taking actions? In a simple, in a nutshell manner, taking actions or taking massive action is just do it. Just like the Nike slogan. I still like that Nike slogan. But to explain in detail of all, taking massive actions or simply just execute your plan requires a process that has been governed in such a way that it produces results massively, effortlessly, and faster. And how does it work? So let's look into these basically concepts that I've actually come across, that I accommodated, that I really put it up over the years as my research and strategies just for you, and hopefully that will serve you in the end of the day for your business, for your career, for life, relationship, or even your health. Okay, so first of all, let's review the 4 core process which is on my right here and over on this side as well. So these 4 process would govern the entire working flow, or how do you get things or get stuff done or get it executed simply. Okay, first thing of all, let's look into this too. The first one, of course, massive critical goals. So yeah, we all know about goals, but how does it, we know our goals, we set our goals, we do goal settings every day, we do it in corporate America, we do it in business, we do it in life, we do it in health, relationship, all the time. But what is actually massive critical goals? So how critical could that be? So which means that just highlight 3 things of all, 3 things of your massive critical goals that you need to accomplish in the end of the day, in the end of the month, in the end of the quarter, or in the end of the year itself. What are the top 3 things that you really need to do? If you don't do it, nothing will work. Say for example, I usually, in my last coaching sessions with a client, and I say that, what are the top 3 things that if you don't do, and nothing matters most? And I ask that question to this person, and he answers to me that, oh, well, I need to spend more time with my family, work more effectively, and travel for holiday. So these are the 3 things. So I ask, why do you have to do these 3 things? Can you just do one thing and don't forgo about the other 2? They say, no, because I've not been doing it for the past 5 years. So what you have been doing? So basically nothing, and just work. So but what will be the consequences? And I asked, they said that if I don't do all these 3 things, he said that my marriage will fail, my kids will leave me, and I'll be living alone miserably for the rest of my life. That is what my clients told me. So this is what I call massive critical goals, that you can highlight at least 3 things, 3 massive critical goals that can really want to get you work on it. Identify that goal very clearly. Just for example, how do you identify goal clearly and specifically? For example, I want to reach $1 million of sales in my business by the end of the year within this time and this date. That is actually one of the goals. Oh, well, reaching $1 million with sales is not a big deal for some companies or some business, but for some small entrepreneurs, it's a big deal. So set it very clearly, the time and date, and how much you want to achieve of that. And you want to highlight that how specifically you want to achieve that 1 million in actually action plans of it later on. So that is actually a very clarity goal that you want to set for yourself. Okay, so that is massive critical goals. Secondly, obtain lead measures. So what are lead measures? So people don't understand what lead measures are about. And I can actually always name 2 things that in some of the industries, that one of them in sports, one in marketing centers. So one of them I always told my clients in my consulting engagement that how do you obtain lead measures? For example, I hire a bunch of telemarketers. I want to actually post or help an event sometime end of year in December before Christmas. So what I need to do is I need to get these 10 telemarketers to call up, cold calling all the clients and networks that I have, or maybe some other networks as well, and get them to the events. And how do we do that? So we set lead measures. Lead measures that, for example, by the end of the year, I need 1,000 people to be in my event, to register for my event, to register to come for my seminars. So that 1,000 people, how do I achieve that? So if I have 10 telemarketings, what they need to do in a day to achieve that goals. For example, maybe a telemarketer need to call about 100 clients, and at least to get about maybe 10 or 20 registered for the events, at least a day or in a week itself. So you set that specific target as a lead measures. So for example, maybe it's not a good idea, but let's share with it that if you want to set a 1,000 participants to join, to arrive and to be joining your event, so in 1 week, that one telemarketers need to call how many people to reach that goal. So it could be, maybe I set a target that that one telemarketer need to call maybe 500 clients, and that 1 week itself, at least 100 clients registered, nothing more or nothing less. So that is actually the goal or the KPI for lead measures. So these are the things that you want to focus on to get all these results coming in. And another example, it's in soccer, or football in some countries. In order for a team to beat another team with at least 2 goals to nil, so how many opportunities for that team to create in order to get 2 goals within 90 minutes of the time? So it could be that team will need to create 50 chances, or 10 corner kicks, 50 free kicks, or 5 penalties, that kind of thing. So these are the lead measures that will generate the 2 goals results to build or to beat that team eventually. So that is how I actually illustrate that as an example for you to look at obtain lead measures. Okay, so these are the 2 things. So then the next one will be, this is very easy, we'll keep it scoreboard. Now why would you want to keep scoreboard in corporate environment, or maybe in business, or in schools, in some other environment? It's fine to keep a scoreboard, but in corporate and in some businesses, that the researchers have said that keeping scoreboard really helps you and motivate you to focus on what matters most to get your goal achieved, to get your massive critical goals arrive at a destination that you desire and that you want. So that keeping scoreboard must be very compelling, must be really clear, must be actually on time and at present as to date. So which means you have to actually keep the scoreboard, like for example, for the entire month, how much productions that I've actually made in order to keep my sales up. Maybe I have 500 orders, so I need to set that 500 orders at this month end. So every week I need to keep that updated as a scoreboard. You can put it up on a paper, you can put it online, you put it in an Excel spreadsheet or a PowerPoint. It's up to you. There's always a many way, creative way, but make sure that it's compelling, graphical, and simple. Simple means that when people look at it, it's easy to understand that that is actually the goal that we want to reach and we want to target off. We don't want to have like multiple of charts that we want to fill up that way, and then when we reach that axis, then we look at that and then we do some calculations. That formula doesn't work. So that's a bunch of screwed up things, you know. In the end of the day, nothing gets done and nobody gets motivated. Nobody, in fact, you get demotivated if you look at the scoreboard as well. So make sure that it's compelling, and preferably in a graphical format, like a smiley face, like a traffic light, you know, the red, amber, and green. You can set up that way and to inform and to get people attention that keeping scoreboard matter most for your goal, for your business, for your life, and your career in the end of the day. Okay, so finally, this flow will not be complete until you hold yourself accountable. So how do I do that? How do we do that? So in some organization, you work in a big team, you work with cross departments, you work in multiple subsidiary, and that you can do that, which means you can hold this as a short update meetings, as an accountability session. What do is they keep exchanging informations, they share their challenges, they share their success, their achievement, and they actually share one thing, that how can this team today can do to move the score higher, faster to the destination, to the goal that they all wanted as massive critical goals. So these are one of the examples. Okay, but let's say for example, if you are a solopreneur, you're a home-based entrepreneur, and you work most of the time alone, and you have very few contractors, and sometimes many contractors may not be really keen on what you do, and you look for partnerships. You look for experts that actually within the same industry as you are. So partner with them, sit down that, okay, let's gather together, few of us, and this is what we want to hold accountable. Well, at least get 2% or 1% that make sure that and can really hold you and say that, hey, did you actually reach that goal? Remind you that, saying that, have you actually, how far have you been doing? Are you missing off the target somehow here and there? Well, it could be really tiring at the very first place, but getting somebody to remind you sometimes is much more powerful of a calling rather than just keeping on your notepad, on your score, on your calendar, on your planner. Believe me, there are 50% chances that you will definitely miss the score. You will miss out for the target. So what do you need to do? You get somebody accountable on it. Somebody can remind you. Somebody can really hold your professionalism to the higher level, to the next level in your business and your career. So these are the 4 flows. But it will not be complete as well. So if you're actually taking massive actions, but they taking massive action must be related to something, to some higher calling, to something, reasons why you need to take that massive actions. So I call it as the purpose. As I always mention that without purpose, whatever you do is meaningless. In some of the sessions that I conducted, that between purpose and results, it's very, very powerful when you actually make it in synergy format. So without a clear purpose, that your higher calling, these things will not work very well and effectively. But if you actually make sure and you ensure your purpose is correct, then these will lead you, and these will motivate you, and these will be the ultimate driving factor as it is. So what are the other ones that actually correlate with the purpose? That will be the outcome. So I thought that we talk about it in massive critical goals. But massive critical goals is just merely goals. You are actually outlining goals in a clarity manner, when and where, how you're going to reach that. But your outcome is being measured in such a way, how would you like your goals to be turned out? What would you like to see your outcome to be? And if you like to hear about it, how would you like to hear about your outcome in the end of the day? Or what kind of figures and information that could actually justify, that could actually tell me that this outcome is something that really what I want in the end of the day. So that actually defines very clearly between massive critical goals and outcome. So if your outcome is somewhere off charts and not in a line, then you really need to figure out, is that your purpose the right way? Is that your right reasons in the end of the day? So these tools are actually very closely working together. So often most people, entrepreneurs, will need to cross-check that, where's your outcome? Well, how would you like that to be turned out? How would you want it to be seen and viewed? If you can picture of it, if you can run a movie in your mind, what would you want it to be? How would you want to view it in such a way? A joyful manner? You know, you can say that, yes, I've done it, this is what I want. I'm seeing myself celebrating, having a champagne or whatever it is. This is what I want to be pictured of in the end of the day of taking these massive actions. So I hope this is all complete in such an organized flow of structures, how you can really take massive actions. And I teach that very in detail, how you do it here, and how you do it here, and how each of it, all these 6 components with these 2 correlate to each other. And this is part of my Transcend Academy, which is part of Thrive and Transform Blueprint Coaching, where I outline how you take actions on each of the 4 mastery pillars. And these 4 mastery pillars will actually govern on all this information, how you take actions on each individual. The templates and checklists are all there. So you just have to follow the flow of it, and you get there for sure. I won't guarantee you making millions of dollars in the end of the day. But there's one thing I could guarantee: once you really go into this detail and have it as a habit and make it as part of you working as your success in life. But with that, I could guarantee once you actually embed as part of your day-to-day operation or operandus or modular or whatever it takes, this will take you to somewhere that you really want. And this will get you the results that you really want, that you really desire. So I hope that this served you, this video. And until for another day, until for another next video, stay thrive and live a full transformational life. Bye for now.